Hey everyone, welcome to another Angry Artist podcast. I will be talking about portfolios today. Now, a lot of people kind of misunderstand the usage of portfolios because maybe of their prior experience going to art schools or just given the wrong information. In fact, a lot of people give me different ideas on what portfolios should do and how many pieces you need, etc., etc. And I feel there's a lot of information overload going on. Now I'm going to simplify this. As usual, I always like making things easier for everyone to understand and something that can be more universal. So first, the inevitable question that pops up is, how many pieces do I need in my portfolio? And this is assuming that this is an illustration portfolio, which includes concept art. Now, I've had professionals say everything from 5 pieces to 10 pieces to even 20 plus pieces. So what's the right answer here? The right answer is how many you need to show that you can do your job competently. I feel a lot of people kind of overvalue the amount of pieces you need in your portfolio. I've seen professional portfolios ranging from, again, maybe even 3 pieces to something like 20 plus. And this has to do with what your job entails. What's more important is consistency. Again, think of portfolio making as a way to show that you can do your job. Your entire goal is to show that you can do your job, no matter what it is. You can even do fine arts or 3D modeling or whatever. You want to show just enough that you demonstrate the skills required for clients to trust you. So I'm going to give a very easy example. If you are to do a character design portfolio, you might want to look into maybe drawing a ton of different ethnicities. You want to draw both genders, and perhaps you even want to tap into a few creatures here and there. Any way and any amount of pieces that will demonstrate to your clients that, hey, I am not limited. If somebody were to ask me to draw, let's say, something really obscure, that perhaps you will have the tools to solve the problem. Now, of course, I always say you want to be consistent about it. You do not want to have a billion styles demonstrating different content. That is one of the biggest things that a lot of people make out of graduation, and I understand because, of course, you probably wouldn't have that much time to make your portfolio when you're at school. You really want to specialize. And I know there are different arguments on, hey, maybe I should show that I'm a jack of all trades. But ultimately, I feel that if you look at the top end professionals, all their portfolios are very, very specialized. You want to be really good at what you do and show enough pieces that will tell clients that you are really good at this thing. If you were to thin your portfolio with 1 trillion different pieces, you might get into the problem of clients not really looking through your entire portfolio and getting the wrong idea of what you are good at. This is why consistency matters. If you have 20 plus pieces, so if you look at even the portfolio of Feng Zhu, for instance, the prominent concept artist, you might notice he has a lot of pieces. However, no matter which piece a client looks at, maybe they only get to choose one to look at, every single piece is strong enough to really demonstrate a lot of what his skill set is. And you really want to show that. Know that you might possibly be judged based on your worst piece. If you have any reasonable doubt that something is weaker than the others, then perhaps you shouldn't have it in your main portfolio page. So the second question that inevitably comes up is, where do you host your portfolio? Now, everyone will have different answers, and they might have answers that I feel are harmful. For instance, some people are going to say, hey, DeviantArt is not very professional, therefore you shouldn't make a DeviantArt. Or you have to do this website or else you are in trouble. So my answer is do as many as you need and for the audience that you want to cater to. How is it wrong in today's age to have as much social media as possible, other than time consumption to update them? My mentality about this type of thing is you never know who's looking at your work. I've gotten clients from people looking at my Tumblr, I've gotten clients from people looking at my DeviantArt, I've gotten clients from people looking at my ArtStation, and I've gotten clients from people who are looking at my website. You really want to hit all avenues. When everything is digital now, you never know where clients are looking at and where they are in the world. I've gotten clients from Europe, I've gotten clients from America, you never know. And they all have their preferences on what they're going to look at. So really try your best to upload your portfolio wherever possible. Now, of course, every social media is different. So DeviantArt has a certain audience, Tumblr has a certain audience, etc., etc. Now, your style might not be useful in some of these different social media, and you can possibly just cut out a few. So, for instance, my work didn't really work with Facebook, so I've opted to just focus on my other social media that has gotten more results, such as Instagram, such as my website, and such as ArtStation. So third question, and the final one that I'll be covering, is what do you put in your portfolio? Now, the obvious answer is similar to the answer to number one, whatever you need to show that you can do your job. However, when I'm looking at some portfolios of graduates, I always notice there's a lot of stuff that people really aren't going to look for at a higher professional level. So for instance, unless you are a fine artist, I wouldn't look into putting too many life drawings. The reason why is, first of all, life drawings tend to be traditional media, and if you are looking into going to the entertainment industry, it is most likely going to be all digital. So clients really won't know how to perceive these life drawings in your portfolio. Second of all, I've seen some students who put 1 trillion sketchbook pages, and I feel that sort of stuff kind of loses purpose beyond art school as well. Now, that's not to say it's not interesting. You might have very good sketches, but again, when you are applying for a job or a very specialized role, you don't really have much to show when it comes to sketchbooks. I have heard the argument where clients might look at your sketchbook drawings to see if you have great ideas or something. But my counterpoint is, if you wanted to show you have great ideas, why can't you have finished artwork which apply your ideas rather than having sketches of them? And a final point is, a lot of people try to do a billion different styles. And I feel that is probably the worst thing you can do. Worse than the content that you put in your portfolio. Again, clients want to know that you are consistent and that you are passionate about one particular style. If you even look at my portfolio at my website, you might notice there's slight deviations of style. But I don't really go from maybe hyper-realism to something like cartoons. Yes, it shows that you have versatility and that you have the skill to adapt. But in my experience of talking to clients and studios, they're most likely going to just hire you for one thing, and if they see a ton of different stuff, then they're not sure if they're gonna get that one style that they need in a consistent manner. So make sure you have a particular look to your work that is distinct and something that your clients can contact you for. Be confident in what you are great at, and clients will love you for it, and they will appreciate you for really pushing the envelope and really being your own brand. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.